in 2000, I got to go to the Cannes Film Festival, right? Which is very exciting for me. It's a bloody Cannes Film Festival, do you know what I mean? It's like the biggest festival there is for filmmakers. It's very exciting to me. Basically, but we couldn't go as kind of movie stars, you know, we couldn't like fly over there and be all glamorous. We had to go by train, right? 14 hours crossing France by train in what I can only describe as being a train exactly like the one in the film Apaches to India. Right? It was ram-packed. There was 17 generations of each family on board, right? And there seemed to be farm animals walking around. But it was worse because it was full of French people. I'm not going to do racist gags. Ooh, they wear a beret, ooh, they sing God. I'm not going to do that. But after spending 14 hours crossing their country by train, I started to think that maybe we'd been a bit too hasty in liberating them from the Nazis. That sounds bad, but you've got to admit that when it comes to trains, the Nazis knew what they were doing. Look, I'm against genocide, right? I am, let me come out now and say that, I am against it, but when it comes to being efficient, you've got to give the Nazis their due. That gag's okay, I run it by a Jewish family, and they said it's kosher. So, I've got your approval, it's fine. But I remember when I went there, I was quite young at the time, and I kind of had this idea that I was an artist who would use film to paint dramatic essays on the truth of the human condition, or, you know, as it's more widely known, I was a pretentious cunt. But yeah, it was an amazing experience with Cannes. I got, through confidence, arrogance, whatever it was, I managed to get a meeting with this big, like, movie production company in the UK. We went down to Crosset, which was the kind of where all the hotels were. There's all the famous movie stars and the big execs. It's all very plush. We went down there. We went into this massive suite. It looked amazing. As I walked in, there was people in the corner. They were all sat around watching like the first couple of films or something. In the other corner, there was a woman typing. So I thought that she might be the secretary. I walked over to her. As I was walking over to her, one of the women watching the film, she was sitting on like a footstool put thing. Right? She stood up suddenly, and I headbutted her as I went past, right? And she turned around, and it was the fucking Oscar-winning actress Angelica Houston. No, the Oscar-winning actress Angelica Houston, right? The woman who's been in Priz's Honour, she dated Jack Nicholson, she won an Oscar, that's why she's an Oscar-winning actress, and also, right, is Morticia from the Addams Family, not the kind of person you want to piss off. She turned around, I thought, I'm going to have to diffuse this situation. So, what I did was I went, very cheeky smile, and Houston, we have a problem. Which I found hilarious. And she didn't. So I started to really panic. I was really panicked. I said, oh, Miss Houston, please don't this. I'm a know-nothing filmmaker. I don't know how I've gotten to this meeting, right, but this could be my big break. If I convince these idiots that I actually know what I'm doing, then I'm going to be able to get my big break, right, from this guy, Terry Gilwood, right? At which point, the guy sitting next to us stood up and went, I'm Terry Gilwood. Fucking wanker. And he said, what did you say? Now, at this point I realised that my life had turned into a very 40s British farce. At that point all I needed was the vicar to come in, trip over the pussy and pull down the brassiere of the woman with the big boobies, and I would have been set. Right? Now I can see, you know, it sounds unbelievable this thing's happening, but what you don't realise is that this kind of shit happens to me all the fucking time. I swear to God, right, if Some Mothers Do Heaven was not made 5 years before I was born, I'd have sued the bastards for copying my life. I said, fucking wanker. He said, what did you say? I get more flustered, right? I'm not good at dealing with these situations. I don't calm down, make it all okay. What I do is I get more flustered. I say more things, more bad things. I do more bad things. I can't control myself. He said, I said, you fucking wanker. He said, what do you say? I said, well, I'm obviously not talking to you, you fucking tit. He said, Lisa, have you ever heard of the phrase, you'll never eat lunch in this kind of town again? I said, are you talking about the phrase uttered by Louis B. Mayer in 1958 to a writer that he thought had besmirched him? Because Louis B. Mayer, head of MGM, thought that he was so important that he could stop that writer from eating in any restaurant, donut store, supermarket, or snack bar in the whole of Hollywood. He said, yes. I said, maybe. We said, well, Sonny, let me say this, you will never eat lunch in this town again. And why he went on to produce Snatch and Stardust and many other box office hits. 2 years later, I went holiday with my friend in the south of France, on the French coast. And we stopped off in Cannes, and I had a sandwich in a restaurant. Around about 1 p.m. So I think we all know who had the last laugh